Right, Gary here. If you're just learning to use your Foildrive for downwinding, especially on a prone board, wanted to help get you started here. So a couple of points here. Number one is what do you do in the surf, right? Most of us use our foils and foil drives in the surf. Your first time going downwinding, whatever you use in the surf, use that and go from there. Don't start making a bunch of wholesale changes. You don't all of a sudden, you do want like a mid to high aspect wing. Pretty much like there's so many wings out there, unless you have one of the like V1s of any major manufacturer where one of their wings was designed specifically for the surf. Otherwise, you'll probably be fine. Nowadays, all the wings we're using in the surf pump well, surf well, at least well enough for downwind. Remote and power settings. So I've kind of gone back and forth on this one. My recommendation is to be able to use your remote on low and set the throttle settings on your controller to, I would say, in the beginning, no more than 80%. Don't let it get to boost. You should leave boost on though, so just in case you feel like you do need it out there, you can always change the power settings on your remote and get your boost back. Next one is pod height. Hopefully you guys can see this well enough. This is a 15 centimeter cable. But I don't have it stretched out all the way. In fact, I really like this a lot lower, not a lot lower, but a couple centimeters at least, as close to the box I could get to without the propellers hitting it. But that was, that's now. In the beginning, I think a 15, even a 20 centimeter pod is totally fine. It's gonna be easy to get up on. You're going to be able to see bumps, at least get bump reading practice in, at least start to know what you're looking for. Mast height. Out there, you need to, oh sorry, before I go on to mast height, I want to talk about this cable. As I mentioned earlier, I wanted to get, at one point, I want to get my pod like super duper close. So I moved it down closer to the battery box, and so much so that my cable actually had to stick out from the side of the mast here. That was a bad idea. It just creates drag, ventilation, cavitation, whatever the heck else that they call it. Just wasn't good. I had a very hard time getting up with the cable like that. So yeah, you want it streamlined, just like normal manufacturer recommendations. But if you are going to try lowering it, it needs to stay behind the trailing edge of the mast. And then mast height. While you're out there, while you're trying to learn how to harness the power of the bumps, the speed of the bumps, the wind waves, it's going to be hard to get your mast high enough. But mast height management is nothing new to downwinding. All disciplines of downwind, all disciplines of foiling require mast height management. So I do have this aftermarket pod. Came from this guy, it's called K Parts, somewhere in Europe. I think maybe like France, I'm not exactly sure where, but I do like this thing. It does help, but I don't think you need anything fancy like this to get started. You can use the normal Foildrive pod. So yeah, a little bit beginning, no big wholesale changes. Learn to use your remote on something other than high. The lower the power, the better. Pod setup, right? Just go with whatever it was meant to be in the beginning. Make sure your cable is streamlined behind the mast, behind the trailing edge of the mast, and get good at managing mast height. on the next video, we'll talk a little bit more about